Hey everybody, how's it going? I thought I would make a video quick talking about some things. I know it's April Fool's Day. Don't worry, this ain't a joke coming at you. I swear, good old Papa Booker ain't gonna be dropping any jokes on you today and getting you out of nowhere. But I wanted to talk about something. Kind of a personal thing, but I felt it was right to make this and talk about it because it affects what everyone's going to be seeing here. It's going to affect what is going to be on the channel. It's going to be affecting me personally. I wanted to talk about the last few years, if that's the best way to put it. The last 5 years, really, here on the channel. We're hitting 6 years coming up in the summer, which is great. But it's hard to really start talking about this because it's something that I had to come to my own personal conclusion to for figuring this part out. And it's the idea of creativity. You might be saying, okay, creativity, what about it? Well, and I can be blunt at times, and I'll be blunt right now. I lost my creativity a while ago. It went missing. I didn't know I even lost it, but it was gone. And that happened roughly, I would say probably a year into the channel, or not even a year, but maybe like 2 years in, because I realized something. I talked to Grace about this. It was the idea of I haven't been what I once was when it came to creativity, to making something, putting effort into something. Not saying I don't put effort into the videos I put out. There's still effort there, but the level of effort isn't the same that I started with even before the channel. And during this video I'll be talking to you about, we're getting to some personal stuff. Like, we're going to talk about the situation involving Sean a little bit. We're going to talk a little bit about that. And for those who don't know, there's a reason Sean's videos haven't been up in the past 2 years. There's a reason for that. We're not going to tackle all of it, but at least go into a little bit. And the reason I bring that up is because before the channel, before Sean, before a lot of things, the channel didn't exist, obviously. But there was another channel, and I was a part of a channel called Anti-Pop Games. That channel, I would do videos where I would do like game reviews or character reviews mostly, and talk about characters and why they're so cool. I had the FA series, which stood for effing awesome, pretty much, because of YouTube's rules. Don't want to say it in general for swears, but effing awesome was the name of the series. And what I would do is talk about characters. They were like 3 to 7 minutes long. And the reason I bring that up is because during that time, I would spend hours, days, like so much time. I would be up doing all-nighters in like the college, university, like over in like the mass comm department. Like we would get in there and we would stay there all night working on projects, but I would go in there and work on video projects because I would work on YouTube videos for everything. I did the Bayonetta series. Not series, but the video talking about Bayonetta as a character. It was great. The Big Daddies. I did, and then I went to games in general. Like, I talked about Metro 2033 and how amazing it was. I talked about, I can't even remember the name of the game. It's over here on my shelf. Anarchy Reigns. I talked about Anarchy Reigns and how it's like an adequate game, but it has all this stuff. And I would put work into it. There would be clips throughout the video. I had things scripted, and it was a lot of work. But I was kind of proud of what I made. And this is a channel that only had like, we were just starting off. We didn't put a lot of thought. We just did it for fun. Maybe like a dozen people subscribed. We just did these things just to do it for fun. It was hobbies pretty much. And out of a 12 subscriber channel, the Bayonetta video got like 200 views, around maybe 150 or something. Which, and views don't really matter about anything. It's the content and quality you make and if people enjoy it. But it was like, I made this with like a known audience of 12, and I got that. And I was like, that's pretty good. And I thought to myself a while ago, after talking to Grace about creativity and everything, and how it's pretty much gone right now, like 390 people, I think, as of right now. What would that number be if I put that much effort into something? What would the growth even look like? And the reason I bring that up is because the fact that when Sean was introduced to things and we started our channel and everything, well, my channel, Sean was in it, we made that clear in the very beginning. We made the Let's Plays because that's what I wanted to do, and I enjoyed doing them. We just joked around. It was a fun thing for two people to do and release some videos. That's what we did, and it was nice. The issue is after a couple years, it came to the point where, how do I put it? I'm not trying to throw shade at another individual, but it came to the point where the person I was working with didn't care. They just did not care what was happening. They just wanted stuff put out. They just did not care about the product. They didn't care. As long as there's material, they did not care. This is kind of relevant when you look at an episode of the South Park series that has no audio to it, period. That's just a thing. And that was just like, at the time, we had an issue with it, but if you would have thrown that in 2 years later, the other individual did not care. They did not care at all. And that became a problem, because I did care about the channel. I did care what happened to it. I did care what was going on. But the issue was that I was caring that what we were making for that style was as good as it could be. The issue was that we kept letting out videos every day, even now, every other day. And it just came to, as long as it's seeming all right, as long as, like, there's attention in the corner with me, I saw that as that was good. Talking with Grace. And nothing against anyone who does Let's Plays that style. It's an older form and it still works now. It's not the peak of what can be done. You know what I mean, kind of? So it came down to doing everything and just getting stuck in that rut. After everyone else left the channel that was ever brought on and left, and it was just me, it was kind of like, okay, let's continue what we're doing and keep, something afloat. And then it became all right. The Gear series took off. Gear Talks were, always great. And I enjoyed doing Gear Talks, and we'll get into that next. But I still kept to that style 5 years in, and it's still that way. And it's not that I don't enjoy the Let's Plays. I do, but it started to take a toll, Like, again, the creativity was just gone. Like, I'm busting things out, just talking to a camera. That's it. Like, there's no high-level editing. There's no, like, throwing things in. There's no little jokes to make. And if you watch the videos I made for Anti-Pop, that was there. Like, I would put heart and soul into it. Yeah, my script reading was horrible. It's gotten better since 6 years ago. But it was, lack of a better term, like, anything that I wanted to do that was hands-on was gone. And editing was really my passion. In college, that's all I wanted to do was just edit videos. Just editing in general made me happy. Editing audio was my favorite thing of it all because I was in the field. When you're out of that for so long, you start to just have it wean away from your passions. And I thought back on it, because Grace, after the gift she gave me of everything I have in front of me for my new setup, after 3 months, she's like, all of this stuff, like, the potential hasn't even been reached. You haven't even done anything. Like, all you do is just sit around, work on the videos you have right now, maybe watch Ordinary Sausage now and then, and that's all you really do. And, we got into a spat about it, and I sat and, marinated on that for a day, and she was right. Like, she thought just, like, are you just, like, uninspired? And I came to the conclusion, like, no, I'm not uninspired. It's just, I'm overwhelmed. And when I think of overwhelmingness, it's like everything that was on my plate, like, cleaning up the games from the past that need to be taken care of, all the Let's Plays for the games that are currently open, thinking about fixing the situation that happened with Sean and trying to figure out what I'm going to do with that. All of this stuff, not only that, but also thinking about my day-to-day life, my current job, which is, something I need to be there for, mentally be aware of when I'm working that. All of this stuff. And there's a ton of other things, like cleaning up the Brent games that we're working on, by the way, and that's something we're working on now. But, like, all of this stuff, plus dozens of others. And it just made me think of, like, change in general. And I wasn't a fan. I hated it, moving all the consoles for everything all together in one simple hookup. I hated that idea because that's another thing on the plate. That's another thing I have to do. Even if it's a small thing that can be done in a weekend, I just didn't want to do it. Changing things, cleaning things up, I hated it. And again, after sitting down and thinking about it, it's the idea of I'm overwhelmed because of the situation I put myself in. I don't need to stay in that situation. Like, and for anyone wondering, I'm going to say it right now because I had to come to this epiphany, clean up my whiteboard, clean up the list of games in the back. Sean ain't coming back. It's not going to happen. Even if for some reason things were to be cleared up and he did, it's not, I probably just wouldn't do it at this point. I had a good run with everything that happened in that. I'm sad that a lot of things can't get finished. I'm sad, like, Final Fantasy 13 can't come to a conclusion. I hate that. But I also understand that it's a thing. And it's not something I need to stay in. Like, the overwhelming amount of things I need to do are there because I've put them on myself. Like, if the Sean stuff isn't happening anymore, off my plate. It's nothing to worry about. If it's a situation of, just clearing the place up, well, let's just get it done so we don't have it on our plate anymore. And it made me think, well, if I'm not overwhelmed, what's stopping me? And I realized, no creativity. So I've been on a journey the past few days to kind of try and find it again, find what I had like 6 to 8 years ago, and try and bring that back. So the reason I bring that up, and this is a bit lengthy of an explanation, it's more of me just gushing about everything, is I want to focus on returning back to how I was. That's the wrong way of saying it. More like I want to fuse everything together. I want, the work ethic, the way I have everything released right now, and I want to put it together with like the long-term creativity I had and make it one. My abilities, even though, I haven't been touching a lot of things as heavily as I did back then, I still have like progressed. I've become better at what I do. I can do better editing, for instance. I can do that. I have all the equipment to do all of it. Like, nothing is literally stopping me from doing that now. I have support from so many people to do that. I have an audience that I can try and throw this back out to. And I bring that out for another reason when it comes to the idea of the Let's Plays going on right now, the Gear Talks, the Off the Cuff, which we'll get into in a moment, along with the Gear Talks. I want those to be better. I want those to be something that people want to view, not just something for background sound, not something for just, hey, I'm supporting him because he's a friend of mine, I'll click on this, click out. And to anyone who does that, thank you in general. That's, you've automatically done something. It's amazing. I thank you for that in general. But I want something that people can actually enjoy. Like, you show it to a random person, they're going to like it. When I started Off the Cuff, I just want to talk about random stuff I want to talk about. I'll make a video talking for like 12 minutes about like, you know what? I saw the last season of Agretsuko, and here are my thoughts on it. I want to make something like that. I want to talk about One Piece. I really like One Piece. I want to talk about stuff like video games. I want to talk about just general things going on in the world. I just want to talk. And I thought to myself, why does it have to be me sitting in a chair like right now and just sitting and talking like, oh yeah, like here are my thoughts, here's my thing. Like, why can't I script it out? Why can't I make something that has production? Throw clips in. Copyright's an issue? Well, I'll just edit out and fix that so the copyright's not an issue. Am I worried about the algorithm? Well, screw the algorithm. Let's just do what I want to do. That's what I want to do. That's what I've thought about. The Gear Talks, I made that format, I based it, and again, I based it off of this idea because I very much enjoyed the style this person used. Teching 101 for his discussion series on things. I very much enjoy those discussion styles. That's what I wanted to base things off of. That's how I wanted to talk about things. And I think for the Gear Talks, it somewhat worked for what I want to do. But I also understand that's made for discussion. That's made for just talking, referencing another series, just off the cuff about things. This, however, with actual off the cuff, I want to put all the work in. I want to do something. I want to make it look amazing. I want to make it something good. That's what I want. Gear Talks, even though I just said that, I don't think off the cuff, the Gear Talks are bad, but it's a system of where I still want that. I want to talk about Gears of War. Gears of War is what got me to where I am right now. The people who are here, majority probably know me from Gears of War content or in the Gears of War scene. That's where I started making a bigger name for myself than where I started off with just doing things like with Sean. Gears of War elevated me to where I currently am, and there's obviously other ways to elevate me further, but I thank Gears of War for what it did. I enjoy the franchise. The world's amazing. I want to talk about that. That's where Gear Talks are a thing. Now, why am I saying all of this and bringing it up with this style? Well, we're going to have some changes. We'll end things off pretty quick. We're going to have some changes. The first change is, after this month, so beginning of April we're in right now, once May hits, I'm going to be changing up the schedule and how that works. Because it's very apparent right now that my fear of algorithms and all of that is what another thing holding me back. We're going to fix that. So the schedule is going to become a little bit lighter just because I want some time to work on things like Off the Cuff, put one out a month with high production, high work put into it. I want to do that. So I'm probably going to make things a little lighter. It probably won't be a video every other day anymore. It might be like 2 to 3 a week. Just, not even like every other day, but just like maybe every Tuesday, every Thursday, and these are just ideas. Every Tuesday and every Thursday, there'll be a Let's Play, let's say. Maybe not Thursday, because that's the gear. Every Tuesday and Friday will be a Let's Play. And then every other Thursday will be a Gear Talk, as we've been doing. Or maybe if I do get a lot of free time, like I'm able to just pump through things really quickly and fine, maybe it will be every Thursday again. I would love that. It will get things done a lot quicker for like the Gabe Convoy discussion series. You know, I would love to do that. I would like it if every month is going to be an off the cuff, you know, make a big old fancy open for it if I have time for it, make an actual dedicated thing, throw the clips in, have a script I'm going off of, and just really put production into that. Put a lot of work into it and really see like the fruits of my labor that I lost, put it back into there. You know, I'd love to do that. The Gear Talks, I would love to have that like a higher production than it is, but still keep it for what it started with, because I very much like the current setup of how it runs, but I understand things could be better. You know, the Let's Plays, like, put more production, more effort, like, you know, not saying I want to jingle keys in front of your face, but really put in a lot of stuff that keeps people wanting to watch what's going on, you know? Right now, I have, like, you know, cutting out the things that I've looked into, cutting out the things that aren't going to happen anymore, I see that there are currently right now 14 games on my pile of Let's Play. That's a bit of a lot. So, I want to take that, whittle it down to the point where I'm comfortable with things and really just have something now and then. You know, I still want to keep the shorter length to everything. I feel like unless it's something like Gears Tactics, we don't need 30 to 50 minute episodes for things. I feel that's just a lot. I feel like a good 10 to 20 is safe enough right there. And I feel like just getting things done is a good start. Obviously, if there's games I want to play like Light Fairy Tail, I'm probably going to start Light Fairy Tail Episode 3 when it comes out. You know, if there's a sequel to something that comes out that I want to play, I probably will, like Bendy and the Ink Machine, or The Dark Revival. I'll probably play that one of these days. Lollipop Chainsaw the Remastered, I'll probably jump on that whenever it comes out. But I understand for right now, that's a big list of things I have. The Gears of War series, I want to get that one done, and I do have plans for another long-running series after that. But again, I need to clean things up. I need to focus on what makes me happy and get my passions back. I need to focus on talking about, you know, the Gear Talks and refocusing that I did this because I love the world and not because I got to bust out another one. It's been another 2 weeks. That's the goal. The focus is now set on my happiness instead of keeping to the schedule that I've created for 5 years. That's basically what it is. So there is still going to be a schedule, but it's going to change. Like Mondays will still be the stream because I enjoy doing that and it's a nice way to talk to everyone. You know, probably Tuesday will be a Let's Play. Wednesday will be nothing. Thursday will probably be nothing unless it's every other and it's a Gear Talk. Friday will probably be a Let's Play just to get something out. Nothing on the weekends probably, so I can have some time to actually work. And then probably, like I said, end of a month, let's throw out an off-the-cuff just for fun. That's what I'm looking at. That's kind of the idea I'm kind of rolling in my noggin. You know, subject to change, of course. So I just wanted to talk about all of that because I had to come to finding myself, and I'm still trying to find the rest of it. So thank everyone for just watching this in general. I will do my best as April winds down to keep everything as it is. And then as of May, pick up and try and put my mind on where I want to have it. So, thank you all for watching. Love you all to death. Yeah. I'm just trying to find my creativity. That's what it all comes down to. So, love you all. See you later on. Later.